To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Jay here, PositiveSarcasm.com, reporting here from the Spare Parts Studio. Happy Sunday, everybody. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, and you can find me on TikTok, and of course you can find me on YouTube at Positive Sarcasm. Just use the Positive Sarcasm search, and you should find me on most of the social media on YouTube. And, oh my god. Sorry, I just shot like an ad. Yeah, I'm a little sweaty. Sometimes when you go all out for like 3.5 minutes, it tends to make you a little tired. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm all not kind of like a little bit of sweat, or maybe it's COVID. That's okay. We'll get through it together. Anyways, you can find me on all social media. You can go ahead and check out my website, positivesarcasm.com. Hopefully I'll do something with that video that I just banged out to real quick. Whew, man. That's like, no, we're not going to get into that. Anyways, it is customary now that on the beginning of every Sunday Leftovers podcast that we recite some poetry from hip-hop's latest or greatest. So I like to start the podcast off by doing a quick hip-hop poetry minute. All right? So let's go ahead and get this started as... I look like Brett Weinstein. Okay. Here we go. Whew. I'm never going to get used to this, to be perfectly honest with you. But that's all right. And I'm just sweating too. So here we go. How do I look on the camera? That looks pretty good. Okay. Anyways, here we go. Get low, bus. Now that's the way that it goes. When we up in the spot, the shit be flooded with hoes. See, we make it hot. The chicks will come out of their clothes. That's when you get it. Mommy already know, I suppose. Turn it up. Shorty wild and shorty open. She beastin' it out. For the record, just a second, I'm a freaking it out. Come on. While she trying to touch, see I was peeping it out. She turned around and was trying to put my dick in her mouth. Well, there you have it. So, there is this week's hip-hop poetry. Go ahead and look up that fine example of poetic genius by Buster Rhymes. Touch it. You can go and look it up on YouTube. Anyways, let me put that aside for now. I am, holy shit. Thank God it's Sunday Leftovers. So, this, I'm a little annoyed. I've said a few things about New York City, about whether or not you should even be in that town right now, and it's all over the place because of a little celebrity who never bothered anybody, who never said a peep about political stuff, who literally just did a couple, big hit kids movies back in the late 80s, early 90s, and was the star of Ghostbusters. Never bothered anybody. Just a typical Jew from New York who made it big for a short period of time, gets sucker punched in one of the most expensive parts to live in Manhattan, no less. So the headline from ABC7 in New York, I will eventually catch my breath. Rick Moranis sucker punched in head in Manhattan's Upper West Side. The video capture shows the moment a man wearing a black I Heart New York shirt, how contradicting, shirt hits the 76-year-old Ghostbusters star. He was in all the Ghostbusters movies, by the way. Police are searching for the man wanted in a random violent New York City attack on actor Rick Moranis on the Upper West Side. Video shows the man wearing a black I Heart New York sweatshirt and backpack hit the 67-year-old Ghostbusters star and knocked him to the ground. It happened Thursday at 7:24 a.m. on West 70th Street near Central Park West. Friday afternoon, police released a clear image of the suspect. And the attack happened just a few blocks away from the apartment building Moranis character Louis Tully lived in the movie. Clever. The attacker continued walking north after throwing the punch. Let's see. Merc Moranis hurt his head, back and hip in the attack, and was able to take himself to the hospital and later to the police station to report the incident. Moranis' rep, Troy Bailey, said in a written statement Friday, Merc Moranis was assaulted on the Upper West Side yesterday. He is fine, but grateful for everyone's thoughts and well wishes. And then just talks about how he shot to fame in movies like Ghostbusters and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And then he put acting aside in the late 90s to focus on raising his kids. And then he's made occasional appearances. Right now, NYPD is asking for any and all information. A lot of actors have actually reached, like Chris Evans from Captain America. He's pretty pissed about it, but it's one thing to say something, it's another thing to do something. So, yeah, and the video is pretty, it's pretty straightforward. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to compare it to the death of a black man up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, getting his throat stepped on. But it's definitely it's an example of what, like, the death of George Floyd is a perfect example of police reform, of what police should do as far as reform and tactical retraining in the hiring and firing process. That's a perfect example of what happens when you don't follow that protocol. This is a perfect example of what happens when you have a shit mayor. You don't give the NYPD any power, and you pretty much stand back and let the city tear itself apart. The video is just strictly straightforward. The guy is walking right by Merc Moranis. Moranis is just a 6-year-old Jewish guy in the neighborhood. So technically that would be considered a hate crime. Unprovoked, Rick Moranis has no reason. This is one thing. There's a lot of things in the news that you're finding lately. There's usually some motive or something, anything, police response leading up to it. There's something for the violence to take place, for a scene where violence could take place. This was merely just a guy walking past another guy. And for no reason whatsoever, none, no provable reason, no suspected reason whatsoever, the dude hit, and he hit him bad. It looked like Ray Rice punching his girlfriend. Hit him so bad and just put him against, and as you know, in New York City, everything's brick. The dude hit him so hard, he flew up against the bricks, he fell down, and the guy just kept on going. He was wearing a mask at the time of the incident. He was wearing a COVID mask. He's wearing a full-blown hood up, and just ultimate trash. And I put something on my Instagram like, NYPD, you have to find this prick. You have to find this prick, and that's simple, because the way he attacked him with one shot, he could have killed him. He hit a 67-year-old man in the head, and then he fell. So if it's a situation where it's first-degree assault, it's with malice. You intended to hit him. Now, whether or not it's premeditated, it still is first-degree assault. If something happens to him, like Merc Moranis for some reason has some type of aneurysm, or he bleeds out, because it's what happens is when you hit somebody, so you cause some damage, massive amount of swelling. So there's your issue right there. If Merc Moranis falls, lands on the concrete, cracks his head open, and dies, and this could happen a day or two later, all of a sudden he has like some type of hematoma and then just passes away. That's just flat out murder. That's like murder in like you could be tried and convicted for second-degree murder, and then you spend pretty much the rest of your life in prison. It's not negligent. It's not manslaughter. You intended to hit this guy to do damage, and he ended up dying as a result. That's murder. And it's disgusting to see, and I just hope, like, they're offering like a couple $1,000s worth of reward. The latest on the matter, as I'm just hitting the refresh on it, is that the latest person to reflect on it was Yahoo. Hospitalizes, let's see. He said first of all, he walked to the hospital. I don't know, maybe Rick Moranis has got a good chin. I don't know. He's just a short little dude. The victim of a random attack. Merc Moranis sustained injuries to his head, back, and hip in the attack and was taken to a local hospital for evaluation. They say he's fine, and that's about it. But the video is just rugged. Like, he's leaving, he's walking up, and then... Actually, is this the actual attack right here? So he's walking up. Okay, this is him leaving the area. Okay, so that's not even him hitting him. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so right at the beginning of the video, Moranis is... He's just walking up the sidewalk. And then the guy just turns and levels him. Hits him as hard as he can from the stance that he's in, and just clocks Moranis, which is a sucker punch. Puts him down, and the guy just keeps walking. That's it. Simple as that. So good luck to you, bro. And if NYPD finds you, they're not going to be... They're not going to... It's not going to be just anything simple. Don't expect any type of courtesy whatsoever. Yeah, that's just an absolute shit. He's just a shitbag. I don't know what else to think about it. I know NYPD will handle it. I know NYPD will find him, and I know NYPD will arrest him. And then and he will be charged to the fullest extent of the law. The thing is that this is expected now. People think that they can just do this, that it's justified, and that they'll get away with it with zero repercussions. Well, that will eventually come to a head. And first of all, this is in New York City, where gun laws are incredibly restrictive. If you tried to do that in Texas, or you try to do that in New Hampshire, or you try to do that in Maine or Florida, your outlook would be grim. Because if Rick Moranis was armed, that would be the end of it. But, I don't know what else to say about it other than just going off and inciting violence. I don't want to do that. I think you're a piece of shit, and whatever happens to you is just, well, that's God's will. So, good luck to you, pal, wherever you may be. On some lighter side news, I want to dwell on that too much longer. This is friggin' Sunday leftovers. I kind of want to just get after it. I was with my pupper, my little... He's like a... You've probably seen him on the podcast a couple times. He is a American Pit Bull Terrier. He's somewhere in that category. There's two types of Pit Bull that are on the very top. He's not the very territorial one. He's just like... he's a Pit Bull. He's obviously in the Pit Bull category, but he also has like either Staffordshire Terrier or just Terrier mix in there, and it makes him incredibly docile as far as like being with people or being curious, but very energetic, incredibly fast, and just full of energy altogether. But an absolute love dog, absolutely lovable dog. So we were in the car, and usually I like having the roof down in my car because I like people to see the dog, and it puts people in a good mood when they see him because he kind of just sniffs the air when people are around. He's just a warm face. He's got a great coat. So I was getting out of picking up to grab something at a store. Guy walks out, grabs it, and this dude he's going to get back inside of his BMW. He sees the dog, and he asked me, he's like, is that your dog? And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's just beautiful. And he's like, can I pet him? Is he friendly? And he already is sticking his hand inside the convertible where the dog is. And I'm like, well, I guess you're about to find out. And the two connect. He's like, apparently this guy's not from around here, or, well, he lives here now, but he's not originally from here. He's like, I'm from Morocco. And I'm like, oh, cool. So apparently, then we get to talking for like 5 minutes, and the dude was like, yeah, I used to train dogs in Morocco. I'm like, oh, well, did you now? And he's like, when I saw your dog, I saw his eyes, we like instantly connected. I was like, oh, that's good. So you're in love with my dog. Well, get in fucking line, dude. And we start talking. He starts mentioning how he's a dog. He used to be a dog trainer in Morocco. And he started telling me about, well, he talked to me about my breed, first of all. How much, I love my dog so much, and blah, 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 blah. And they were petting him. But I love that I'm able to take a dog, a rescue dog of all things, and turn him into like a real people person or people dog. And he tells me about the dogs he would train when he was in Morocco. So I'm like, oh, okay. So he tells me about these dogs called Sluhi or Slugis. I think it is pronounced Slugis. There's two types of dogs in Morocco. Morocco's in northern Africa, just in case you didn't know. Fucking Google map it, bro. There's the Aldi I believe it is, and then which is a like a dog that keeps an eye on the sheep and stuff. And then there's the Slugie. He says the Slugie is. You ever heard like beagles are like hunting dogs, or certain pointers are hunting dogs? Well, a hunting dog, obviously, if you didn't know, they go with you on hunts. You kill the bird or you kill the animal, and then the dog tracks it and then finds it for you. Because you try shooting like a duck from like 200 yards away and then going and finding it. Well, the beagle or the pointer will be able to go and find it and then bark, and then you go to it. Well, this is different. These Slugies are trained specifically to not only hunt, not only do they don't find the animal, they track it, they kill it. So I'm like, really? So I'm like, the dog does everything for you? And he's like, yep. And we trained him. Now, another thing about these dogs, too, is they are like cheetah fast. So I'm going to Google that in a minute, but I want to talk to you about what these Slugies are, where they're from, what they do, and then we'll see who is like the fastest dogs on Earth. But he says they're like the cheetahs fast. He says like they're the fastest dogs on the planet. I'm like, interesting. That's like 30-ish miles per hour, but we'll go and look it up. But it says right here, this is through Wikipedia, by the way, the Slugie is a North African breed dog, and they're AKC recognized too. It's a North African breed of dog, specifically a member of the Sighthound family, found mainly in Morocco. Okay, so the guy was not full of shit. Responsible for the standard and maybe in smaller numbers elsewhere in North Africa. It looks kind of like a greyhound type dog, but apparently they're much larger than that, and they're much stronger than they appear. And they have a fairly stoic stance too. They stand like straight up. They got the deep inward, six-pack ab type of gut. Should not be confused with the smooth Saluki of the Arabian Peninsula in the Middle East, nor to be confused with the smooth Afghan Hound. The Slugie is a medium to large, short-haired, smooth-coated, athletic sight hound developed in the Berber world of North Africa, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya, to hunt game such as hare, fox, jackal, gazelle, and wild pigs. Oh, I'd like to see the fight between that and a wild pig. The guy also mentioned that it was a super ancient breed, like way back, Tutankhamun type shit. So apparently he wasn't lying. It's an ancient breed treasured in North Africa for hunting skills, speed, agility, and endurance over long distances. It is a robust, elegant, and racy pursuit dog with no exaggeration of length of body or limbs, muscle development, angulation, nor curve of loin. The Slugie is not a fragile dog, but it is also a dog with class and grace. Who the hell wrote this? The attitude is noble and somewhat aloof, and the expression of the dark eyes is gentle and melancholy. The Slugie's head is long and elegant with drop ears. The body and legs show defined bony structure in a strong, lean muscles. The skeletal structure is sturdy. The top line is essentially horizontal, blending into a bony, gently sloping croup. The tail is long and carried low with an upward curve at the end. I love how, it's Wikipedia, so somebody obviously from the dog community added this information in. And definitely gave this dog the best description possible. But you can go ahead and look it up. It's Slugie is Sloughi. Temperament. Consistent with mainly sight hounds, the Slugie is a sensitive character that is devoted to its owner and family, does not respond well to harsh or corporal training methods, and does best with the owner who is sensitive, intelligent, and conscientious. Responds best to training that is on positive reinforcement. A lot of dogs do, actually. Health, only a few genetic conditions have been confirmed with the breed. Generally tends to live excellent health and into old age. Has existed for centuries in North Africa, largely found in Morocco. Responsible for the breed's FCI. Okay. So let's go ahead and also look up. Let's go see the fastest dogs in the world. I did not plan this part. I plan to look for it, but let's see. Fastest dogs in the world. Fastest dogs in the world, according to, let's see, there's World Atlas. Let's see, the fastest dog breeds in the world. So we have the Jack Russell Terrier. What? Just about any dog could run fast when chasing after a ball or heading towards a bowl of food, but there are certain breeds of dogs that are really fast. They can get up to speeds that humans can only achieve behind the wheel of a vehicle. Jack Russell Terrier, 38 miles per hour. Huh? Oh my god, he's so cute. Clocks in at 38 miles per hour. The breed may be small, but it is very mighty and needs a lot of exercise to expend its energy. Oh my god, the thing is freaking adorable. The Afghan Hound. Oh. Is the the Afghan Hound was not supposed to be... No. Fastest canines, the Afghan Hound, up to speeds of 40 miles per hour. The Vizsla at 40 miles per hour. He's adorable. Oh, there it is. Number 2. The Saluki. 42 miles per hour. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Don't underestimate the Saluki's graceful appearance this dog was built to race, reaching speeds of up to 42 miles per hour. The majestic breed has been hailed for many centuries as an able hunter. Look closely at paintings from the Renaissance era and you'll likely spot a Saluki in the foreground, eagerly waiting to go out on a hunt with its master. While these sleek canines have enjoyed a long history, they were not known to the West until after World War I. Today's Salukis are known for taking top prize in many racing and conformation events. Oh, it's a gorgeous dog. Like, it has a very like Tekken 2 type of, it has some Asian features to it. It has long what do you call it? Hairy, flailing ears, and it's got a limber body. It's a very pretty dog. But it's only number 2. Apparently number 1 is the Greyhound. The Greyhound reaching 45 miles per hour. What does it say about the Greyhound? Fastest dog on 4 paws. Oldest breeds going back to Cleopatra's reign in Egypt. So I'm wondering if I go back and see. So this is from World Atlas. So let me take a look and see if there's other websites that say otherwise. So the fastest dogs in the world, there's number 23, the Boston Terrier, 21, Siberian Husky. All right, so let's scroll all the way down. Number 16, Belgian Noir, Poodle. Oh, what's this? I'm just curious to see who would. Pharaoh Hound. So a lot of dogs from the Northern Africa region. Number 5, the Vizsla. Number 4, the Afghan Hound. And then let's see. Number 3, a Bison Hound, 40 miles per hour. Number 2, Saluki, 43 miles per hour. Number 1, Greyhound, 45 miles per hour. Okay. So that's Greyhound 2, Saluki 0. Okay, let's actually look at a couple more articles. Let's see if there's other sites that say otherwise. Now, I'm not going to say this guy's full of shit. He said he trained these dogs. He said they're the fastest dogs in the world. I mean, they're clocking in at number 2. So the guy obviously knows what he's talking about. Even though the Greyhound is listed as number 1, the guy wasn't wrong. I mean, technically, was he wrong? No, but he's prideful. I mean, technically, is he wrong? Not by much. Not by much at all. I mean, number 2, and these dogs are trained to chase gazelles and cheetahs. Although I think how fast is a cheetah? Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's do this. Let's do. How fast is a cheetah? 50 to 80 miles per hour. Whoa. But the gazelle, this thing's supposed to chase down gazelles. Gazelles are clocking in at 60 miles per hour. Can a Saluki track a... 48, okay. Can a Saluki run down a gazelle?
According to the Saluki, the swift Saluki was used to run down fleet games such as hare, fox, and various types of gazelle. The nature of the terrain dictated what they had to be physically. The nature of the hunt and the lifestyle of the tribes dictated what they had to be mentally.
And it said that gazelle were often prey for the Saluki. Ooh, what's this? This is Saluki allowed in Islam. Although Salukis traditionally regarded dogs as unclean, they made an exception for the Saluki to live in the family tent. They were considered clean by the Bedouins and are allowed to be in women's quarters, while the other dogs must be kept outside. Interesting. So cheetahs, okay, so it can chase, let's see. All right, let's go back to, let's see if we can find, let's close up, I'm going to look up 2 more. So Italian Greyhound, German Schnauzer. Let's scroll towards the bottom here. Number 3, Afghan Hound. This is cheatsheet.com. Number 2, Saluki. Number 1, the Greyhound. All right. Greyhound 3, Saluki 0. Let's look up one more. The fastest dog breeds in the world. This is dogloversblog.com. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Breed overview. Let's see. Let's take a look here. The fuck's this? The Whippet? Number 10. Number 8. All right. Let's keep going here. This page, okay. Dogs Lovers Blog, just to let you know, your layout is not easy. Number 5, Jack Russell Terrier. Number 4, the Vizsla. Number 3, the Afghan Hound. Number 2, Saluki. Number 1, the Greyhound. All right. All right, let's close. All right, so what are we at? 26 minutes? Let's close up with one more, and then we'll close up shop for today. So let me back out of this thing. And then, yeah. Let's see. All right. Top10HQ.com. Let's take a peek here. But it was cool to talk to the guy, first of all. He really did have a love for dogs, and he even asked my dog's name. Didn't even ask me my name. I'm offended. Great Dane, 30 miles per hour. Great Danes are awesome. They're big goofballs. Let's see. Number 4, the Buzwi, the Russian Wolfhound. Okay, here we go. Number 3. The Saluki clocks in at number 3. Uh-oh. Number 2. Wait, okay, hold on a second. This one says that... Hold on a second here. This is fucked. Okay, what? I'm gobsmacked to see non-sight hounds listed as being capable of greyhound speeds. No, they can't. Anatomy is destiny when it comes to fast dogs. Fast boards, we have clocked over 36. Very fast greyhound weapons are certainly capable of speeds. And as fantasy, there are no 40-mile visas, 37-mile donations. Okay, so people are greatly contesting this one. They said the Whippet at 35 miles per hour. And number 1, the Greyhound at 43 miles per hour. Okay, so where the Greyhound is number 1 still, apparently people were greatly upset at that, the outcome, and it leaves some doubt. Uh-oh. Do we have controversy? Voter controversy? Okay. Says here the number 1 is Greyhound, and number 2 is the Saluki. So, and the number 3, the Afghan Hound. Very all pretty dogs. So I think that, yeah, I would have to say that the Greyhound, I mean, first of all, there's a reason they race Greyhounds, or they used to anyways. And, I mean, there's a reason why you don't see them. But I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a Saluki versus a Greyhound. Greyhounds are super fast. But still, if you see a Saluki run by you at 43 miles per hour, I mean, that thing will blast right through you. I have no idea. How fast is a American pit? We'll see. Hold on. Let's find out. Let me just Google one more thing. We'll get out of here. How fast is an American Pit Bull Terrier?
48.3 kilometers per hour. Here's a summary from Pets World. Pit bulls make extraordinary dawning mutts in that they are agile, strong, and typically energetic. A pit bull can keep running at paces of around 25 to 30 miles per hour.
That's not bad. So, and he definitely looks like it when he does run. Okay, well, there's that. All right, so we're at almost 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and close up shop for today. Whew! I'm exhausted. I mean, that first 3.5 minutes, and that took me out before I even started the podcast. But now I have it on video, and maybe I'll review it later. Maybe I'll do a year in review with that, but we'll see. Anyways, you can find me on all social media. You can go ahead and look me up on YouTube, Positive Sarcasm and Positive Sarcasm Podcast. Like, subscribe, share, view, comment, whatever. I just noticed. I went into my freaking comments, and there was a ton under review, and I didn't even notice them until just now, from like 4 months ago. So I just approved all your comments and liked them all. So thank you for all leaving comments and stuff. Until then, you can find me on all social media. You can find me on YouTube, and of course, if you want to subscribe to this podcast, you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Facebook, or you can subscribe to the audio portion on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Podbay, CastBox, anywhere where podcasts are available. And then I will talk to you all on Wednesday. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. You can also donate to the podcast, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. You have questions, concerns for posing music, wedding requests, anything like that, go ahead and just look it up. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, you can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com, subject podcast, or if you want to sip coffee in the Spare Parts studio, you can more than welcome to do so. I have a casting couch out of frame that you're more than welcome to utilize. But until then, thank you for listening and watching and subscribing. I will talk to you all on Wednesday. Recorded here from the Spare Parts studio, this has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation. Get well, Rick Moranis.